A very good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. This is Blog 2 for August, and it's interesting because as I record this, today's Saturday, the ILP is planning to have its launch campaign in Tunapuna. Inclement as the weather as it may be, maybe there was another faux pas of not checking what the weather is going to be, so who knows what's going to happen. Already in the Diego Martin area, there is some issues of flooding just with the simple rain that has happened during the morning period. But that is not the issue. The issue today leads in several directions. This week, of course, was the holiday, Ramadan, and my best wishes, of course, goes out to all of the Muslims of the world, including those in Trinidad and Tobago. And I hope that this year reflection has helped our people to grow a little bit better in understanding what has to happen with regards to the different cultures that is existing in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to continue to work with one another if we are to succeed in bringing Trinidad and Tobago where we want it for the children of the future. It's no longer about us people. It's about those kids that we have been able over the years to accumulate as parents. Are we going to leave them a better society, or are we going to leave them a society that they're going to be questioning what did we do while we were there? There are different ways of putting that, but I think it's the simplest way to ask, what are you doing to make sure that tomorrow is going to be a better time for your children? Marshal Montano has started. Maybe he has had divine intervention coming out of his trial, and he's gone to Sealots and made a bold move in trying to take the kids there to give them a good time. It's something that we need to think about as people. How many of us are going to step to the plate and do things of that nature? At the station here, we do something annually, and that really puts us in a good position. It's done in January, and it's along the same sort of principal position of taking care of the kids. I don't want to be too long this week. I just want to focus my attention on the issues that are facing the country. And the most important one right now seems to have been, again, along the line of corruption. We're hearing the leader of the ILP, who was a Minister of National Security, a laughable situation, now talking about corruption in the highway, something that he was the major mover shaker. He was the guy that went down to Mondesir and moved the people. Partap was in his presence together with the military and others. And he's now telling the country he's going to be busting some mark again. It's kind of ridiculous that, when you are there and you hold the post and the portfolio that you didn't bust no mark. All of a sudden, Lindira Udit comes on your side. We're still waiting to find out whether he's going to accept Vonley. He hasn't said anything. He has brought in Montano as the interim chairman, pending, of course, ratification. I don't know what he expects to get out of Montano except the same sort of things that Montano has given while he was around the UNC. Regurgitated politicians yet again. I'm sure he's going to spring up some new, young, dynamic people, which is going to be good for the politics. But the truth is he really going to be a leader, or is he going to be a follower? It seems as if though he's going to be a follower, because quite honestly, it doesn't seem from the start that he's doing anything in leadership. Leadership means to say that he's got to bite the bullet. Stop this innuendo stupidness of trying to tell people to go bust a mark. If you have information, and Mr. Pandey continued to tell the country since in the times of his problems and incarceration, carry to the police, carry the facts. But this is another smokescreen being put up. Again, one has to question, if the Simmons report did not come out at the time it had reported, would Mr. Warner still be in the People's Partnership government? It's quite possible. He would still be there. He's never been asked this question. It would be something interesting to hear his response. If that did not occur, what would he have done? So now we have a whole barrage of things, including everybody trying to pontificate and say what will happen when. I told you the last time. the election will have to be put off. Mr. Warner, in a media response recently, told the country that when they had the 1955 election, it was postponed till 56 and it made the PNM stronger and they never looked back. Well, obviously, Mr. Warner, politics is about that. If Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisasa doesn't think that she could win the next local government, like, why is she giving you the opportunity to win? She's got to do whatever she's got to do. That's the role of the Prime Minister. And in view of the fact that it's a simple majority, just to put it to the point, that it gets extended, you or nobody in the parliament can do anything about it. So shut up your mouth now. Just shut up your mouth. Go and do what you're accustomed doing. Fight in the vineyards and try to win over the people instead of trying to be a couture maker. Because that is what you turn out to be, a spoiled brat. You lose your marbles, you get bokeh, and then all of a sudden you just decide, well, you're going to start to cry foul. You're like Morgan Zankarai or whatever his name is in the African continent. And you know what is frustrating with all of this is that the country doesn't seem to understand. Well, let me tell you something, people. Questions have to be answered by Mr. Warner. One, is he going to accept Mr. Von Lee in his party? Two, is he going to continue to keep a man that has had some level of discomfort while he was around the politician Montano? Is he going to continue along the lines of putting him as a chairman? Is he a regurgitated politician? And then he boasts about having Lavantil turning green. Well, if Lavantil turn green, what's the problem? If you don't win the government, what you will do? You still can't help them. And they've got to understand that their best bet is to side with the side that has the authority and the money, not to side with the perception of those who are going to try. In my own case, I'm going to make an effort to try to see if I could win the Port of Spain Corporation. And hopefully I will, because I think the country's people have realized it's not about how much money you have, but it's what you could do with the money and how much people you could help along the way. You have helped people, Mr. Warner. But the truth is, you are now treading down this old stupid political street that you seem to be going into the rut that everybody gets into. PNM is complaining, same old story, Rowley. Why did we have the election? Why did I listen? There will be no local government election. I can tell you that from now it will be put off for at least 6 months. The next time we will see it will be sometime next year after Carnival. It's possible. Because the Prime Minister has the power to do that. And keep the same system in place for another period of time. While she regroups, and I hope she's going to change around the Senate, seeing that Udit has gone, get rid of all of them deadweight Prime Minister. Get rid of them. They are a waste of time. The Makandal Dagas and all of the people, they are not contributing anything to your success. They are part of your failure. They can't bring anything to the table. They're so backward, inept in their capabilities, they're funny. Start firing the people that are not delivering, including the UDCOT side. Get rid of them. Bring in technocrats and people who understand what to do. Give them the responsibility to run the industries that are there. And divest yourself of a lot of these government businesses so you could concentrate on the business of the people and not on the business of making sure that contracts are awarded to the right or the wrong. It's a hard job, Prime Minister. Nobody is disputing that. And I think both Rowley and on the other hand, Warner feel they could do the job. I think I could do the job too. The problem is, do I have the support of the people in order to be able to get the job done? I don't think anybody other than the PNM has some kind of support in this country. Of course, excluding the present administration, who is there that have support. Questions that are facing us is whether or not Mr. Warner really has justified information about the issues relative with corruption on the highway. And if he has, what is he waiting on to go and tell the police? Only time will tell people. But I say this much to you. All that glitters is not gold. And unless Mr. Warner cannot come forward and answer some very basic, fundamental questions, then you have to be very careful with the man, because he could be setting you up to just get into position and you'll be in the same position always. It could be a similar transference of power in Trinidad and Tobago to someone who carries a custodial position and a chip on his shoulder, similar to that of the African continent leaders. and in specific, the one who just won. So hear what, people. Be very careful with what you do. Zimbabwe is a place that you need to pay attention to. And I just ask you gently today to pay attention to your children and make sure the decision you make, you could live with it. Because any decision you make now is going to affect your children in the future. I'm Robert Amar. This is Blog 2 for August. Thank you very much for supporting 104.7 Mo FM, and of course, by extension, myself and all the people here who are working towards giving you the best broadcast, the best music, the best mix, the best variety. Have a great, great weekend. And those of you in the Diego Martin, Piti Valley area, just watch yourself, stay indoors, because once the flood comes, you can't really do anything. Just try to protect what you have on the inside. Take care. See you again next week. Bye.